From the heart of Inwood at Inwood Artworks Studios, welcome to Inwood Artworks On Air. It's where you meet the musicians, writers, theater makers, and artists of all stripes who make their home what we affectionately call upstate Manhattan. I'm your host, Aaron Sims, and today we welcome local actor, playwright, singer, fight director, Sean Fletcher Griffin. Sean grew up in a family of Southern Pentecostal church musicians and attended Florida State University, where he double majored in theater and creative writing. He moved to New York in 2011, where he started working with a company called Phillstock, which he wrote, directed, and acted in several plays. As a member of UnkleDave's Fight House, a company of fight directors founded by Dave Anzuelo, he has worked on numerous Broadway, regional, and off-Broadway productions as a fight and intimacy director, including Appropriate, Merrily We Roll Along, Uncle Vanya, The Great Society, and the current playing Death of a Salesman and The Fear of 13. As an actor, he is last seen in Dave Anzuelo's Dia y Noche, produced by Labyrinth Theater Company. Before that, he was in the musical An Odyssey of Hope, a Yiddish production of Ionesco's Rhinoceros at the Castillo, and many others, including his personal cabaret show In the Beginning at the Duplex. One credit of note was a piece called Nero by Kyung H. Park, a 5-part filmed epic in which he was fight director, intimacy director, and choreographer. And yes, he's also a dancer, but that's another podcast. He's written several plays, short stories, and poems, and his short story Fringe has been published in Dropout Literary Magazine, and his novella Pieces of God is available digitally and locally. He is very proud to be in the Purim Spiel at Fort Tryon Jewish Center 3 years in a row. How about that for a little local flavor? So you don't think we have enough to talk about? We have plenty to talk about. Just pick. He's a Swiss Army knife. He's a man of all seasons, jack of all trades. His name is Sean. We are going to talk to him about his work on stage and off. Welcome, Sean, to Inwood Artworks On Air. Great to have you here.
Good to be here.
So one of the things I enjoy about you, Sean, is your resilience and capacity for various avenues of art making.
I'm resilient.
You are resilient because you know why? You keep doing it.
I keep
You usually have a lot of plates spinning at once, we'll just say, okay? And so how do you compartmentalize and balance your creative energy and, most importantly, focus?
I mean, that's a good question. I think the answer, I don't have a specific method of how I go about things, but I do believe that, like, if you want to be an artist, you just have to do it. And you just have to keep at it. Especially in theater, I find that even with setbacks and everything, as long as you keep at it, even if it's your own pace, you're going to be fine.
Yeah.
So, and also being with my husband Dave helps. So we keep each other going, we keep each other motivated, you know.
Well, you continue, and you have, and you will continue to wear a lot of creative hats: acting, fight directing, writing, to name a few. Yes, dance. Do you have a preference amongst the children? Have you had to choose one?
Oh, choose one of which?
Yeah, exactly. Of acting, fight directing, writing, dancing, music direction.
That's hard. So I like several things for different reasons. But at the end of the day, I'm a performer.
Got it.
I don't perform as much as I would like to. But yeah, I mean, as you read earlier, like, I grew up in a family of church musicians. So I was singing in front of groups of people since I was like 4 or 5 with that little karaoke tape I got from the church bookstore, you know. And
what was your first karaoke song? Just curious.
He's Still in the Fire, which is this, like, do you know the Gaither Gospel group?
I know of them. I mean, don't know them intimately, but yes.
Yeah, but you know the style, yes. Right? And so that was the style, and so that's what I sang, and I would practice it on my little play school tape player with the microphone attached. That was
I wish we had a clip of that.
I mean, I'm old enough of a millennial that, like, tape recorders weren't quite as ubiquitous as they are now.
Yeah.
But I'm sure there might be a recording on cassette somewhere.
Yes.
In that church archives. I don't know.
You're old enough to know what a cassette is as well.
Yeah. Not old enough to have like been around for 8 tracks, but I definitely know cassette.
That's a whole separate crazy podcast. And that, unfortunately, I was actually. But you were saying though, at the end of the day, you're a performer first, and so it dates back to your family roots for the most part.
Yep, it does. Yeah.
Cool, gotcha. And talk about your family a little bit. But there were musical. Well, I guess it's like a segue, right? In a way, if you're a musical family, maybe musical theater is somewhat tangentially there, or performance oriented. It's an easy, backdoor right into theater.
Yeah.
Is that how you went into theater from there, or was that later into college and stuff?
So, yeah, like theater wasn't in my brain when I was a little kid, because where I grew up, little town, an hour west of Tallahassee, like there wasn't really theater. You had a small theater program at Chipola in Mariana, and you had theater at FSU in Tallahassee, of course. But like in that town, like I think the most theater you would have is like an Easter or Christmas pageant, like at the church. That was it. It was only when my family moved over near Pensacola to Milton. And when I was a kid, Janice Giese, who was the concertmaster for the Pensacola Symphony Orchestra, just happened to be my music teacher in elementary school. And she told me, she's like, have you ever thought of being in a chorus or choir? And I was like, well, no, with my very deep Southern accent at the time. And she told me, you should join the Pensacola Children's Chorus. And I was just like, I didn't know what that was. I was like, okay, sure. So I went to an audition, and he made me. I say made me. His name was Alan Pote. He was the director.
It's like child abuse.
Him and his wife were the directors of the Pensacola Children's Chorus, and they had me audition, and I ended up singing way higher than I even thought was possible. I was like so I was basically a first soprano until I hit puberty. But I didn't know that until that moment. That was a moment that changed my life. Because with that choir, I ended up doing theater, I ended up doing singing and dance. I ended up traveling and singing at the White House and on performing on cruise ships.
Wow.
And it really changed my life. Like, yeah.
Sounds like very foundational for you.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
I mean, so one of many mentors, perhaps any other mentors along the road, starting there, that brought you to New York, so to speak, and told you.
New York.
My point is like give you enough confidence to say, this is what I'm going to do for a living. I'm going to pursue this as a vocation.
I mean, honestly, all my music teachers, except for one, I will not name them, but all my music teachers were pretty great. And gave me that confidence. And as I said, Janice Giese in elementary school, she stayed in touch with me even after I came to New York. She was always rooting for me. She was a remarkable human. And sadly, was it 5 years ago, she was planning on coming to New York with her granddaughter, because her granddaughter got accepted into a school here in New York. And she said, I want to see you when I'm there. And she passed away shortly after sending me that message. But without her, in a lot of ways, I don't know if I would be here.
Well, that's a hell of a good tribute there. Very nice.
All of the things that happened, like creatively, all the where I ended up really started with her.
Awesome. It's important to be championed and also to champion others now. You know what I mean? And being that influence on others, that's fabulous.
Yeah.
Let's turn our attention to your work as a fight director and choreographer. Can you explain to our listeners who may be unfamiliar with the job how this position collaborates with the artistic team and being also an integral part of the artistic team in telling the story of a play or film?
So, when I tell people I'm a fight director, a lot of people have, several ellipses and a question mark in their brain, and you can see it in their eyes. And I'm like, so
you stage violence.
I stage violence. And then some people confuse that. Oh, like you do fights. And they're like, they think we really do like actual fighting on. I'm like, no. We stage moments of of violence or physical altercations in a safe way, but also that tells the story. That's really what it's about at the end of the day, is telling the story.
Yeah.
And I never thought I would be a fight director. When I was at FSU, like I had friends, and I had classmates who went into stage combat, I should say, stage combat class. And, I would go to the presentations at the end of the semester, and I was like, don't think this is for me. No, this is just not for me. And so it just was never an option for me until I met Dave after I moved to New York.
And it became an option.
It became an option because, he told me, he after working with me, he's like, you are pretty good at this. Would you like to, shadow me and the other people on my team at the time at a show, at a rehearsal? And I was like, okay, like what could it hurt? And just being in the room with him and watching him work, I was like, this is a completely different way of doing fights and violence on stage than I would have imagined. It really, at the end of the day, it really is directing. That's why we call it fight direction and not stage combat or fight choreography, because our goal is to tell a story with the actors you have, with the characters, the kind of character they're bringing into it, the chemistry they have with their other actors. A lot of times people may have injuries, people may have, a certain different abilities physically. And so, we navigate that, we build the moments with them in mind, and it's never like cookie cutter. This is how you do, this is how you do a punch. We can do that. We can do the punch nap, and we do that a good amount. But it's never just like A, B, C, D. Yeah. It's still at the end of the day about telling a story.
Amen to that. Thanks for saying that. And do you have a particular favorite piece of choreography you're most proud of? Anything comes to mind that?
So it's funny. I think of a piece I'm particularly proud of was actually not with Dave. It's a moment that I built with my other teammate, Jerry. We worked on a show at Atlantic called The Welkin, directed by Sarah Benson, who she's great. And it stars Sandra Oh. It was kind of like if you take 12 Angry Men and put it in medieval times, and it's women.
Okay.
And so we were working. It was like all of these fights and all this stuff, for the most part, not all of it. Like there were one or two moments with men, but a lot of it was these women, and they were such a good cast, such a good play, and there was a lot that we built. And I really loved working on that play.
Awesome.
Yeah, and Gerardo Rodriguez, Jerry is he's great to work with too. I don't get to work with him enough. I'll put it that way. Yeah.
Well, and so you have that piece, and then you have current pieces running on Broadway right now with Death of a Salesman. How is this Death of a Salesman different than previous incarnations of Salesman? Any thoughts on that?
I don't want to give anything away. We have been so busy that we were not able to go to a full run through of it, right? So our first time seeing the full run through was at opening night several nights ago, and we were really blown away just by all the elements, the stagecraft, the acting.
For those of you who know, it stars Nathan Lane and Laurie Metcalf.
Mm-hmm. And it was directed by Joe Mantello.
Yes.
Also stars Christopher Abbott. Just such an amazing job. And also, Joe Mantello was so great to work with. such positive energy, and like the results, you see the results for yourself. It's so good. It's so evident how good of a director he is.
Well,
I don't want to be blowing smoke up.
But
like
credit,
it's a great production.
Attention must be paid, right?
Attention must be paid.
What can you say?
There is I will say this. There is a moment that sticks with me from this production between the character Biff and Willie. That was it was so out of left field for me, and it was so jarring. And it was like you understand in that moment the Nathan Lane's version of Willie Loman. You understand his version of this character completely in that moment, and everything from then on makes sense. And it's so tragic.
Yeah. Well, it's the great. They call it the Great American Play for a reason.
I mean, yeah.
Well, we look forward to it, and I wanted to make sure I highlighted that with all the great work you've been doing. Well, I congratulate you again on that wonderful work and living the artistic dream as a multi-hyphenate artist here uptown. So what does the rest of 2026 look for you? Do you have anything exciting you're looking towards you want to tell people about?
I am just, so other than the shows we do we're doing Fight Direction, we're about to work on Miss Christie down at the MacArthur. And I also I helped a little bit on Proof, on the Broadway production of Proof as well, and that was the last minute. That happened like 2 weeks ago. It's like, can you come in and help us with a moment? But my teammate Rocio Mendez, they came in and did the work on that, but they weren't available to come in at a last minute rearranging, so I went in. So that kind of thing happens a lot with Fight Direction. Outside of Fight Direction, there's a play that I wrote that I'm trying to get more eyes on, trying to spend a little more time on, trying to get a reading of. I'm in a playwrights group called All Stars, and they read one play a month with a group of people, and then like it's a cold reading with actors. And so I'm hoping to get my play read in the near future with them. Yeah. And acting wise, hey, if you have a role.
Well, where can they find you? Do you have a website you could share with them?
Yeah, SeanFGriffin.com.
So if you're looking to hire someone like Sean, don't worry about it. Just hire Sean. He's right here, and he's ready and willing. And you know the reason why I kind of went through all the different, we call it the 7 ages of Sean, so to speak, because he has that, I would say that multi-hyphenate, wears a lot of hats, and you can hear I stress that quite often in this podcast, that he's a good storyteller, and at fundamental basis a storyteller that has a lot of ways and tools to help tell your stories. So there you go. You're right. So it's my endorsement.
Okay,
and,
thank you.
And I've seen it, and I've seen him act, and who knows? Maybe we'll get a reading of your play up here sometime. You know, how about
that'd be great.
You know, we could do it at the studio maybe here.
That'd be great.
You never know.
Yeah.
We're still building it out here, and your first impressions of the studio here. You're one of our first guests ever here.
I mean, it's very bare bones because they just got into space.
Right, we just
you
got in.
You still have the plastic film on the mirror in the bathroom.
We still do. It's like we are currently not open for business. We are. This is pre. As the balance sheet goes, this is pre-opening.
Yeah.
But we can do this though, which is great.
But it's great. I love these windows. It's going to be a great space for art and things like that.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good creative space. But
yeah.
Well, thank you, Sean. Appreciate you being here and sharing all your happenings, and also the new play, which sounds exciting. And so, but yeah, hire Sean. Find him around the streets of Inwood or Fort Washington or Fort Tryon Park. Flag him down and say, "I got a role for you."
Yeah.
Again, thank you again, Sean. Say hi to Dave for me. All right.
Will do.
All right. Well, listeners, be sure to follow Sean and his website and support him and his work. Thanks again for Sean Fletcher Griffin for joining me on this Artist Spotlight edition of Inwood Artworks on Air.
Thank you, Aaron.
You betcha, buddy. It's where we meet the musicians, writers, theater makers, and artists of all stripes make their home here in Uptown NYC. Thanks to Gary and John, our engineers, for helping us out here today, and to highsize.com for Uptown promotional support. Hey, you can support On Air and all of our programming by making a tax-free donation. Yes, tax-free. We need the help. InwoodArtworks.nyc/donate. We really greatly appreciate it. Follow us on social media to keep up all that we do, which includes the Inwood Film Festival, Filmworks Al Fresco, live performances, and now a brand new studio. So lots to talk about pretty soon. Inwood Artworks is proud to be supported in part by public funds from the New York City Department of Cultural Affairs in partnership with the City Council. And Inwood Artworks programming is made possible by the New York State Council on the Arts with the Office of the Support of the Governor and the New York State Legislature. From the top of Manhattan and the bottom of our hearts, thank you so much for tuning in. This is Aaron Sims for Inwood Artworks on Air.